Y'all don't mind that right there. Hello, everybody. Listen, just give you a short introduction. I'm not gonna give the full introduction due to the simple fact I'm on a time crunch, right? So, welcome back to another episode of the Charm Effect podcast, right? And then your host, which is me, Sir Charming. But that's not what I really want to get into. Because I'm crunched for time, right? And this is gonna be the start video of a lot of my videos being more organic and unedited. You know what I'm saying? And my next video that I upload will give you more insight to that. But for this video, uh, it's pretty much I wanted to give like a little. You still have time, right? That's the name of this title. I'm a title of that. You still have time, right? To rethink, to replan, to readjust, and to reassess, right? So first things first, let's kick it off with the first topic. All right. The theme is to rethink, right? Why is it essential to rethink? In a world that's constantly, demanding us for change, it's easy to fall into a routine where we pursue goals without just questioning their relevance to like our effectiveness into the future, right? Of our future. So rethinking just reinvolves I said reinvolves. It involves taking a step back to look at, evaluating what the individual truly wants, if that makes sense. Um, things to ask yourself: are you currently aligned, with your goals? You know what I'm saying, or are your current goals allowed with your values? If that makes sense. Are you pursuing these goals for yourself, or is it because of external pressures or what I'm saying, influences? So I'm pretty sure that's like self-explanatory. And for example, if someone had Steve Jobs, for example, right? He famously actually dropped out of college because he didn't want to follow the traditional path, right? He thought it was possible for his life to do something different, and so just reflect on your own actions. How often have you found yourself on a path that didn't really fulfill you? You know what I'm saying? That's just pretty much the whole point of um rethinking, right? And a way to do that, you can just reflect, right? You could just take, grab a pen, you know what I'm saying, piece of paper, just write down your goals, uh, and yeah, and see if you're pursuing them, you know what I'm saying? And I said, just write down one goal that you've been pursuing, and that might need some rethinking, you know what I'm saying? And then if you think so, if you think that way, just write a reason behind it on why. All right. For the second one is I'm about to start going quick because, like I said, I'm trying to upload this video right after I finish this. So just bear with me. All right. I'm gonna try to speak slowly but swiftly. So for the second one is to replan. All right. Now, what does it mean to replan? All right. So replanning is something that you need to do quite frequently because life is unpredictable. All right, just because a plan didn't work the first time, that don't necessarily mean that it cannot work out, right? Just because you have a plan set out for yourself is not always meant for, as most people would say, God, you know what I'm saying? I'll say the prime creator, just because a goal, a plan didn't work out for you doesn't mean it's not gonna work out. It just probably didn't work out how it needed for you. So the universe is gonna align you. So when you replan, that doesn't don't think that that's a failure. You know what I'm saying? It just means you're flexible and you're willing to adapt. That's how you need to think of it, right? So let me repeat that. Just because your plan didn't work out the first time, that doesn't mean it can't work out. Let's remember that. All right, just because it didn't work out the first time don't mean it won't work out. And replanning doesn't mean failure. It just means you're flexible and willing to adapt. Okay. So uh that's kind of like, I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. All right, just figure out like, something called SMART criterias, you know what I'm saying? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevance, all right, and time bound. So this is going to access your current plan against the criterias to see if these things need adjusting or updating. You know what I'm saying? So specific. Your goal clearly defined. Like, is your goal clearly defined? Is pretty much what I was trying to say. For the measurable part, like, can you track your progress? You know what I'm saying? And the A in SMART is pretty much just like a little acronym I came across. It means achievable, right? So SMA. A stands for achievable. You know, is it a realistic goal that you can achieve? Relevancy. R, does it align with your overall vision, right? These are things that within your SMART criteria of goals that you're trying to hit and plans. You need to make sure that they're all aligned with this. And for the last one, T, time bound. Do you have a deadline? All right. So, you know, I'm not gonna get into too many examples with that, but for the last one that I want to talk about, I said the last one, no, the third one, right, which is after talking about replanning, right? We're gonna get into the readjusting. So for the next segment, okay. All right, now that you've rethought and replan, now it's time to just readjust. You know what I'm saying? Readjust. And why do you need to readjust? It's simply because sometimes life can throw unexpected changes in our way. You know what I'm saying? Life is definitely unpredictable. It's critical to just remain adaptable. You know, um, adjusting doesn't like mean that you're like giving up. It just means you're recognizing that the path that you're on currently is not linear to your, you know, just knowing that it's not always gonna be linear, if that makes sense. All right. Shoot, is there any techniques I can give for, like, you know what I'm saying, readjustment? Just embrace and being flexible. You know what I'm saying? If something isn't working, it's definitely okay to pivot. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? Also set smaller milestones. You know, if you feel like the big picture is overwhelming, just scale it down a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you need to, break it down into pieces, fractions, all that. You know what I'm saying? Also find support. You know what I mean? Find support. You know, you're not gonna always find support within your immediate family. It's just, hey, I'm sorry, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So strangers support more and faster than a family member will. So just take my advice. You know what I'm saying? Take it and see how far. Matter of fact, put down in the comments and if it helped you out or not. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, so just, you know what I'm saying, an example I could say, just remember a time, you know, when you was doing something personal, right? A time. Wait, what was I about to say? Find support. All right, just, yeah, find yourself around somebody who genuinely inspires you and motivates you. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to be. Um, for the last segment, right? Reassessing. We blah, 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 bow, dang. um, reassess, right? So, why is reassessment important? Regularly checking in with yourself is very critical, right? I guess, I mean, you can consider it to be shadow work, but, you know, as life evolves, so do we. You know what I'm saying? And our goals are supposed to evolve. You shouldn't have the same 8-year-old goals as, you know, a 28-year-old man or woman. You know, now for your childlike self, if you want to still stay connected to your childlike self, you know, that aspect of yourself, then okay, cool. But those, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, um, consider to, you know, ask these questions regularly, right? Is this something that you want? Or is this something that I want, right? Um, have my circumstances changed? You know what I'm saying? And then for the last one is, am I still passionate about this goal? You know? So, um, yeah. So as we wrap, you know what I'm saying, today's episode up, just, you know, remember that you still have time. All right. You still have time. I don't have quite the amount of time that I want to really detail everything in this video, but just realize that you always, if you don't procrastinate, you know, you will always have time. And remember that you have time, man. Life is not a race. It's definitely a journey. All right. So if you're trying to sprint through a whole marathon, I mean, unless you Sonic, you know what I'm saying? Maybe even Usain Bolt could probably do that. You know, you're not gonna come out. It ain't gonna come out how you think so. All right, so once again, thank you for everybody who's tuned in to my podcast. And like I said, I'm about to really get back to the nitty gritty, consistent podcast of posting, you know what I'm saying, here on YouTube. This is where I'm gonna pretty much just start that up. Yeah. So once again, thank you for everybody that's watching, and also make sure to subscribe. All right. And once again, I'll be back with some more videos. All right. Peace.